Every town has its haunted house, and the small village of Elmsford was no exception. The ramshackle Langley Manor loomed over the town from its perch on the hill. It was a place with a history soaked in sorrow and whispered secrets. Few dared to venture near it after dark. In the village, the subject of Langley Manor often surfaced among the townsfolk, and with each telling, the stories grew more and more elaborate. Some said they could hear whispers, others claimed to see eerie lights flickering in the windows. But one thing was clear: Langley Manor was a place to be feared. Among the villagers, young Ella Hargrove stood out. At 16, she possessed an adventurous spirit and a keen sense of curiosity. Ever since she had been a little girl, Ella had been captivated by mysteries. Her fascination with the unknown led her to become obsessed with the old manor on the hill. Unlike the rest, she felt drawn to its desolate beauty and the stories that surrounded it. Encouraged by her laptop detective work and timeless thriller novels, she decided to uncover the truth hidden behind the decaying walls. One crisp October evening, under the cloak of twilight, Ella made her way up the winding path to Langley Manor. Armed with a flashlight and an old notebook she had filled with local legends and personal notes, she was ready for whatever awaited her. The manor seemed even more imposing up close, with its ivy-covered facade and broken windows that resembled hollow, unseeing eyes. She took a deep breath and crossed the creaky threshold, the wooden door groaning in protest. Inside, the air was thick with dust and the scent of old wood. Shadows danced in the corners, and the silence was profound, broken only by the occasional creak of the floorboards under her feet. As she wandered through the dimly lit rooms, her flashlight casting eerie shadows, Ella stumbled upon a faded portrait of a young woman. The woman's eyes seemed to follow her, and Ella shivered, feeling the weight of unseen gazes upon her. As she explored further, the whispers began. At first, they were faint, just a hint of a voice carried on the wind. But soon they grew louder, more insistent, echoing through the empty halls. "Who's there?" Ella called out, her voice trembling. There was no reply, only the relentless murmurs that seemed to be coming from the walls themselves. Determined not to be frightened off, Ella pressed on, following the whispers to a grand staircase that led to the upper floors. Her heart pounded in her chest as she ascended, each step bringing her closer to the source of the ghostly voices. When she reached the top, she found herself in a long hallway lined with doors. The whispers were deafening now, a cacophony of voices overlapping in a dissonant chorus. Ella paused, trying to make sense of the chaos. She closed her eyes, focusing on a single voice among the many. "Help us," it pleaded. With newfound determination, Ella followed the voice to a door at the end of the hallway. It was slightly ajar, and she pushed it open cautiously. Inside, she found a small, cluttered room filled with old trunks and dusty furniture. The whispers swirled around her, and she felt a cold chill run down her spine. In one corner of the room, Ella spotted a large, ornate mirror. The frame was tarnished with age, but the glass was eerily clear. As she approached it, the whispers reached a fever pitch. She could see her reflection, but there was something else: the faint outlines of faces and figures behind her, watching her with hollow eyes. Ella's breath caught in her throat as she realized she was standing at the threshold between the living and the dead. In that moment, she understood that the whispers were the voices of those trapped on the other side, pleading for release. Summoning all her courage, Ella reached out and touched the mirror. A surge of energy coursed through her, and the room seemed to blur and shift.